Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Comebol Copa América USA 2024. Joining us is coach for USA, Gregg Berhalter. Before we get started, kindly be reminded that broadcasting or recording is strictly prohibited. A reminder that you are able to access the press conference through the QR code. You are also able to access simultaneous translation through the Interaction web app. Kindly introduce yourself by stating your name and the name of your organization before asking a question. At this time, we will get started, so kindly raise your hand and wait for the microphone. You can go ahead.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I'll start with some opening comments. Obviously, to see the guys in the locker room after the game, we're collectively, it's not working. How about now? Do I need to do anything? It's on? Nope, not on. Now? There we go. All right. So just to see the guys' faces in the locker room, and see the emotion of the staff and players, we're bitterly disappointed with the results. We know that we're capable of more. And this tournament, we didn't show it. It is really as simple as that. I think that, you look at the stage that was set with the fans in this tournament, with the high level of competition in this tournament, and, we should have done better. And, we'll do a review and figure out what went wrong, why it went wrong. But I think it's, it's an empty feeling right now for sure.
Michele Giannone from Innovation. Hi, Greg. Did the referee tell you something about the Uruguay goal, like on the broadcast? It looked like a clear offside, and the picture too. So, what explanation did you got?
It's pretty crazy, really. I don't understand it. I feel like I know the rule pretty well. I feel like we had the pictures that are showing how the rule could be interpreted, and it's an offside goal. It's disappointing. It really is, but that happens in football, and we have to live with it, obviously.
Hi, Greg. Steve Goff, The Washington Post. There's a lot to digest. Obviously, It's a very emotional time. But reflecting on the three games and getting knocked out, do you feel like the team has done enough? Have you done enough to continue the way things are and to stay in the position?
Well, that's what we're going to take a look at. We're all going to do a review of the whole tournament and see where we fell short. It's obvious that the Panama game hurt us, put us behind the eight ball. And, I think collectively, the staff, the players, the sporting department, we need to look at where do we improve? How do we do better? It's not the aspirations that we have as a group. We know it's a talented team with big potential, and we didn't show it in this tournament.
Great. Jonathan Tannenwald, the Philadelphia Inquirer. Greg, the review is going to take some time, obviously, show what it shows, but in your heart and in your mind, in this moment, as emotional it is, what needs to get better? Because 2 years is not a lot of time in the international soccer world, and there might not be games this big between now and the 2026 World Cup.
No, it's a good point. It's really, I think, about learning from this whole month. It wasn't only Copa America, but it's learning from these high-level games that we're playing pre-tournament and in tournament, and us having the collective understanding that the margins are so small, and there's very little, separating any of these teams. And you have to treat every game as the same. When you see the effort tonight that we put in, it's incredible. The guys did a great job. They worked extremely hard, put in a great effort against a really good team. But that needs to be the standard. Every time we step on the field, that needs to be the same effort. So we'll look at everything. I think we're not going to leave any stone unturned.
Gregg, you said that needs to be the standard. I interpret that to mean that you don't think it is the standard. Why do you think that's the case? And in terms of the review, do you think you'll be given the opportunity to conduct that review?
That's not up to me, Jeff, right? We know that. I think that, again, when you're in tournament football, there's very little that separates success from failure. And, it's one action, it's, one decision from the referee, and you could be in trouble. And for us, it's having that understanding, this understanding that, every time we step on the field, it has an impact. And, I think we're getting there, but, we're not always there. And that's something that we can improve.
Henry Bushnell with Yahoo Sports. Gregg, stepping back, maybe, going back a few weeks before Copa America started, so taking away the, circumstances of what happened in these 3 games, do you feel like the team has made progress over the past 9 months since you retook charge? And if so, in what ways?
Yeah, I do. I think in a number of ways. Defensively, we're a very good team. Most games we have higher expected goals than the opponent. We create chances. We move the ball well. To me, the whole thing is, you want to keep moving the team forward. And I feel like we have. You think about the depth of the squad, the number of players we have that have played in games. So there's certainly improvement, and we need to keep going. To me, it's not. In my opinion, it's not something that you say, okay, this program's doomed. It's not the case at all. It was a poor performance. We didn't get the results that we expected, and we need to get better. It's a difficult question, because when you look at Uruguay and how they play, they're a very, very good defensive team. They go to Argentina and they beat Argentina and leave Argentina with a 0.5 expected goals at home. They don't give up many chances, and we knew that going into the game, it wasn't going to be a ton of chances. We knew it was going to be 1 or 2 opportunities, hopefully a set piece or 2, and we can get on the board. When you look at the other games, we've created enough chances to score enough goals. Panama was an exception, I think, due to the circumstances of being down a man. And we still had a higher expected goal difference than them. And, I don't want this to be an excuse at all. We did not perform up to expectations at all. We know we can do better. We believe in this team, but that's how it was.
Hey, Gregg, Paul Tenorio from The Athletic. As you just said, you felt like this team didn't perform well and could perform better. The decision's not up to you as to whether you continue, but do you believe that you still are the right voice, the right person with this group to push it forward ahead of the 26th World Cup and into the 26th World Cup?
Yes.
Hey, Gregg. Doug McIntyre, Fox Sports. You said a couple times you think you could have done better. As a team, what are some of the things? I know you're going to do your review and look at everything, but in the moment now, what are some of the things you think you guys could have done better in this tournament?
Again, I think I need to step back and analyze it more. But obviously, the loss against Panama really hurt, right? And I think when you talk about being in position, 80th minute, in a good position to get a draw and get something out of the game, we didn't get it. And when you look at that moment specifically, there's some issues there. So I think, particularly in that game, the low block defending, needed to improve in that moment. But overall, it's a good group. It's a group of hardworking guys, honest guys that want to be great. And this is disappointing that we didn't achieve what we wanted.
Hey, Gregg, thanks for taking the time. Joe Lowry here with Bleacher Report. I wanted to ask specifically in this game about the choice to replace Tim on the field with Younes, obviously not positionally like for like, but over someone like Haji or Brendan Aronson. What went into that choice, knowing that coming into tonight, you all were almost certainly going to need a goal to progress? Thanks.
Yeah, well, I think the like for like was Gio moving to winger, right, and having a mobile midfield. We knew that they're very aggressive, very man-orientated in midfield, and we felt if we had, a lot of mobility in midfield, it would unbalance them. And so that was the reason why we started Yunus in midfield and Gio as a winger.
Greg, John Arnold from Getting CONCACAF. Before the match, we talked a bit about keeping an eye on the other game. Before the free kick that eventually was ruled the goal, it looked like you were trying to communicate the score to the players. Is that what you were doing? And what was kind of the idea about keeping that communication open once you're actually in the heat of the moment there?
Yeah, we updated them at halftime. We said Panama's winning. We're going to need a goal. Even if they score again, we're still just going to need one goal. So, and then in the course of the game, when Bolivia equalized, there was getting that information out that we want to be smart, solid. Panama is tied in the game. And, yeah.
Hi, Greg. Oliver Salt from the Daily Mail. You say that you believe you're still the right man to take this team forward, but are you worried at all now on the back of this huge disappointment about your future? Do you have concerns yourself?
Well, I'm not happy with the results of the tournament. That's for sure. And that's first and foremost, the expectations that we have are to do better than we did. And we're, bitterly disappointed with it. And, the other stuff that's out of my control, then, it's not something, to spend a lot of time with. To me, it's about how do we keep getting better? How do we keep improving and processing, the lack of performance in this tournament?
Thank you very much, Coach Gregg Berhalter. With this, we have come to the end of this press conference. Thank you.